Don't buy Ethereum until you watch this video, guys. It's absolutely essential. After what's happened in Ethereum over the last few days, that you don't panic and rush in, because I'm going to show you exactly what I think is playing out in the Ethereum chart. And maybe your feelings are telling you that it's time to get in and buy, but that's usually the way that we get burned. Let's dive in and take a look. Ethereum over the last couple of days boomed to around 17%, currently sitting 15% up. Pretty good considering the boring, tumultuous time that we've been sat in with crypto over the last few months. But guys, I'm here to tell you what happens if we buy big old green candles like this is we tend to get wrecked. Now, I want to show you what I'm actually looking at, and we'll look at Bitcoin as well as the US dollar, which is basically the key or the secret source to what's been happening in crypto. Before we dive into the Ethereum chart and I give you the price predictions for today, let's look at the US dollar index. Yes, I've talked about it a lot. I want to show you what's happening right this second. Obviously, we're in a rising wedge. Ultimately, this will eventually break towards the downside, but I don't think it's going to happen just yet. Every time this moves up, crypto moves down. Okay, I've talked about this a lot on this channel. You're probably getting bored of it by now, but it's essential to know what's going on. So I'll continue to bore you with it. What we've got here, guys, is a consolidation zone before an aggressive push out. We then return to this zone here, and guess what happened? Pushed out. We're now back into this zone here, and I know everyone's like, oh, we've got a double top. It's going to come down. Well, you're potentially wrong with that, guys. All we're doing is returning to this order block. And actually, if we look into this order block on a 4-hour chart, you can see what's happened. As soon as we got back into this green zone, we're aggressively pushing out of it. Yes, you could say that we're retesting this previous line of support as resistance. Maybe that's the case. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think we could potentially be seeing another push in the DXY, which would see Ethereum, Bitcoin returning to lower levels, which is obviously great because then we get an opportunity to have another bite of the cherry if you missed out on that first push. Jumping to Bitcoin, you can see something showing as well. You can see that these red candles have come in line with that DXY little push towards the upside. So if we're seeing a return down towards lower levels, what are we looking for a better entry on our crypto? Well, previously we had resistance in this green box through here. You can see multiple times we found resistance here, guys. Even though we did break up and come down, we also found resistance here. So previous lines of resistance flip into support. What I'm looking for Bitcoin to do is come into this zone and show that this zone is now going to become support. Now remember, we are still in a downtrend. Yeah, this green line shows we are still in a downtrend. We've got lower highs and lower lows each time, showing us that right now our bias should be towards the downside rather than towards the upside. So if we are to be able to break into a new buying opportunity, what we're looking for is a return to this zone, which would give me a good idea that this is probably a good zone that we're going to buy out of. Am I going to buy at this point? No, I'm not, because I'm going to wait for it to get back here and then push. This is where we want to pay attention, because if it does this bounce and then it could potentially do this, or it could just potentially jump down here, showing a bit of a sign of weakness and then pushing further, right? That would obviously have huge implications for the Ethereum price. And yes, we're looking at Bitcoin, not Ethereum, because Ethereum follows Bitcoin. So we look back at Ethereum. Similar things have happened. Obviously, Ethereum rallied harder than Bitcoin because it's got a smaller market cap. But if we look at this area right now that we are currently in, remember we have a nice order block. And you're wondering what an order block is. Well, effectively, it's a zone at which Ethereum is being sold at. So every time it's getting into this zone, I would anticipate a sell-off. And we had a nice consolidation, and then we had huge push. Okay, so what I'm anticipating right now is huge push. Okay, so effectively what Ethereum really needs to do is push and be testing this zone, as I've just shown you on Bitcoin. Will that happen? Well, who knows? Right this second, we're seeing sideways consolidation. If we jump into a 15-minute chart, we're also seeing something interesting as well, which is a descending triangle. So every time the price gets pushed up, it gets sold off at slightly lower levels each time. Ultimately, if it does break below this low and push back down, then we're looking at prices down towards this area through here, which actually could be quite nice for a potential buying opportunity in Ethereum. So where's our buying zone potentially in Ethereum then? Well, we can see this, guys. See this like order blocks here, right? Every time we've left these little consolidations, big push. Consolidation, big push. Consolidation, guess what? Big push. So let's take a look at potential order block. Here's one, guys. We can see we had this block here, came down, retested it, and eventually probably will be dropping into this zone. Now, as I've just mentioned with Bitcoin, do I want to be buying that? Well, possibly not straight away, because I don't know whether it's just going to do this and continue, or whether we're going to be able to do something like this and then put in a nice double bottom. If this happens and we're getting like another double bottom coming in here, then I'm looking to buy into these zones here. And actually, in terms of like the price, this is a 15-minute chart. It's not significant in terms of a drop, but you get a better opportunity to be able to buy lower. I'm not saying that it's not going to be able to break to the upside. It could still do that. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but we've seen other markets today showing some interesting things. This is the US dollar JPY chart, US dollar Japanese yen. Why do we care? Well, guys, this shows what the US dollar's been doing. The US dollar is against crypto. Anything going against crypto that's going up means the other must be going down, right? So what we got here is a nice buy zone for US dollar JPY. US dollar's pushed down into it when crypto's been going up. Right now, we're seeing good bounces, which is what indicates to me that we could be seeing US dollar pushing further towards better highs. Bigger highs, not necessarily better because we want crypto to go up eventually. But right now, I don't think crypto is quite ready. However, I could be wrong. It's not financial advice, it's just what I'm paying attention to. I want you to remember the words of wisdom I shared with you yesterday, and also with my Telegram group. If you want to get involved with my Telegram group, there's a link down below, absolutely free. We've been talking about stuff in that for the last few days. It's getting busier and busier by the day, which is exciting to see. I want you to invite your mates, get anyone in there who you can. We're going to get some special offers once crypto starts pumping again. And it's all going to be very exciting. So what we will potentially be seeing, what I said yesterday is we needed to see a shakeout, right? Everyone who's been holding crypto through here is just holding forever, right? These people are probably not going to sell unless we can create some sort of a sell-off opportunity where we got people buying in and then a drop like that. So it wouldn't shock me at all if we got Ethereum to actually arrive back down into this zone after a push here, or maybe even a push even higher and down. This causes mass confusion, mass hysteria. Right now I'm getting people hitting me up all the time being like, I don't know what's going on, should I be buying, should I be selling, what's going on? This sort of stuff hasn't been happening in crypto for quite some time, and it's showing much more emotion flowing into the market, which is a good thing because it shows us we could be setting up for the bull market. Pick out some sells from people who've been pretty solid so far, and all they need to do is a bit of psychological games in order to be able to make you make some bad choices. If you've bought Ethereum now and you've still got Ethereum, would I be selling? Personally, no. I didn't buy more Ethereum than I could afford to lose in Ethereum. What I'm looking at, if we get potentially lower, to buy more, because then I've got a potential to lower my dollar cost average. Even though I've been buying over $4,000, like I know a lot of people have, and you're looking to maybe squeeze back towards that level, well, if you get lower, then you can bring your dollar cost average down by buying in at a lower price. And then when we start to push up for a bull run, then we're going to be sitting in a nice position. Push up for a bull run, well, big question. Yes, guys, everything that goes up must come down. Everything goes down must come up. Pretty straightforward, right? And actually what I'm looking at in terms of where I would see the price go, and I'm not saying this is going to happen in any particular space or period of time. This could be like midway through next year, could be longer, could be less. I'm not sure exactly, right? Lots of things changing. But we've got this high, this high. Wouldn't shock me to see it come to another high, which up here sat at around $7,000. And if we take a fib retracement from the top, wow, and drop it down to our low, well, guess what we can see, guys? The 1.618 golden ratio of the Fibonacci sequence coming in. When we have breakouts beyond all-time highs, we do like to see attacks on the 1.618. So if we were to say that it's going to perfectly hit the green line and around the same time it hits the 1.618, that would mean that Saturday, the 9th of September 2023 is when we're going to return to that level. But, you know, I'm not going to make psychic predictions because charts just don't work like that. All we've got every day to work on is probability. And everyone who's going like, oh, you said this yesterday, and then you said this today, and then you said that, and then I get it, guys. I understand that it sounds like I'm talking out my ass, but actually every single moment, every single thing that changes on this chart, I have to react to. Okay, so there's no set formula. Anyone who tells you exactly what's going to play out over the next few weeks or a few days or whenever is wrong, because it might come off and it might make them look like a genius, but it's just a probability game. Trading is just being right more than you're wrong, rolling the dice and trying to get the best options, kind of like a game of poker or something like that, using the tools that you've got, as well as the rate, as well as ratios, as well as like probability rules and stuff like that. It's pretty boring, I get it, but ultimately it's going to make us money if we're patient, if we're smart. Don't buy big green candle. If you want to know why you don't buy big green candles, guys, because after big green candles you get big red ones, and every time you get big green ones you get red ones, and then eventually you get a big red one like that. But then look, it gives you good buys opportunities every time we get red candles. Buy big red ones, don't buy big green ones. That's what they want you to do. Be smart, guys. Right, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, smash the thumbs up button. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a bleak 2022 so far when it comes to YouTube and crypto. But let's see if we can get everyone excited again about what's coming up around the corner. With the crypto bull market coming very soon, we will get ready and we're going to be in the best position forward for that. Make sure you subscribe, guys, and I'll keep you up to date with what's happening in Ethereum, as well as we'll move into some Solana, some other altcoins, and all sorts of other exciting things. I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye-bye.